This has been a rough time for RGG, considering the lackluster celebration of the 20th anniversary, alongside a new game that was disappointing, to say the least. I'm surprised to say that the most refreshing thing we've had recently was a 3-episode live-action set of specials that nobody really seems to be talking about. I think that ties into the fact that, RGG has been kind of killing itself right now. Yakuza or Like a Dragon has a complicated history with live-action adaptations. I already talked about the film, which I actually do find quite a bit of redeeming qualities in that. But it was still very separated from the source material while being a very fun film. Typically was met with a more negative response. There was also the live-action prologue, which was a little special, meant to prologue the original PS2 game. And then the Amazon series, that was just straight up horrid. And not only did they take all the fun out of it, they tried taking the Yakuza narrative and giving it a more serious tone, which just had bland writing, poorly constructed story, and overall boring, generic presentations from other run-of-the-mill crime shows. There was nothing special about it. And I do want to acknowledge the stage play too, because it's pretty damn great.
Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Come on! Oh, yes!
A different media from what we're discussing here, but it's definitely worth checking out if you haven't already. So now we have yet another live-action project, and when it was announced, I kind of just forgot about it, and trailers started to drop, and initially I thought it was more like a commercial for the game or something, very much presented in that same quality. Yakuza Nihon Touitsu collaboration. I was not very familiar with this franchise prior, as a lot of non-Japanese are, because this hasn't had great international distribution. This is Nikyo V-Cinema. V-Cinema is direct-to-video, and Nikyo means chivalry, which ties into Yakuza films, Yakuza Eiga. I actually kind of did connect these before when I did a noir project a few years back with Yakuza 0 and Nikatsu Yakuza films. So Nihon Touitsu is a Yakuza direct-to-video, or direct-to-net, I guess, project collaborating its cast and production team with RGG. Supposedly they only had 10 days to film the whole thing, all 3 episodes. I'm used to Japan making the most with less. Very resourceful filmmakers, masters of minimalism, really. But this is intense. I think the best I could compare this to be originals, real shoestring budget type projects, but the difference is that these Japanese films are madly entertaining, and then Tubi is...
Old bones break so easily.
Or even further to the direct-to-DVD or VHS crap, if anyone's old enough to remember that. Very slapdash, but the dedication is there, and I've read stories about actors breaking limbs, doing stunts and stuff. It's nuts, it really is. And I wish I had more to use here for examples, but again, it's pretty hard to find a lot of this. Nihon Touitsu started as a multi-part project in 2013 that really exploded in popularity during COVID, when everybody was locked up streaming everything they could find.
I finished Netflix, Hank.
Again, this was made on a very, very low budget, and it will most definitely show. The first episode actually opens with the in-game cutscene from the Kiwami remake. There is quite a bit of the games sourced in this. Now, at the time, I wasn't prepared for how much they were going to rely on the in-game stuff, but oh boy. It jumps right into the iconic opening battle, and Kiryu actually uses style switching, accompanied by the aura indicator of which style he's using. And of course, they're using music from the games as well. The fight choreography is serviceable. The first episode covers roughly the first 4 chapters of the game in under an hour, which is insane, and as fast as you would expect. Although I was surprised they were able to add in scenes like Dojima prior to his death, showing his disdain for Kiryu, which I feel was a real missed opportunity in the remake, considering how much Zero expanded on Dojima. It's actually kind of cool to see his hatred towards Kiryu. Outside of that, most of this is just scenes and dialogue ripped straight from the game. There is a problem with that too, however. Most of this episode is just people sitting and talking. Lengthy dialogue is not a problem in film, mind you, but when it is just exposition dumping, it's not the most exciting thing as a viewer. Yakuza is well known for its lengthy and complex stories and cutscenes, and for a lot of people, this is one of the weaker ones, although admittedly this is one of my personal favorites. It doesn't really do much when most of the series is just this. What makes Yakuza so special is its gameplay. How it takes those gangster story tropes and interweaves them into games full of hours upon hours of activities, fun combat, exploring Japanese cities. I don't even really think that just sitting and watching the cutscenes of the game does full justice to the experience. In a sense, that's kind of what this is. They throw in so much from the games here though, that's really cool. Kiryu eating, and Bob? So Kiryu is walking the green screen of the in-game footage of the city. Oh. Well, they got the sub-stories. They even mimicked the dialogue exchanges for the non-fully voice-acted sequences.
Hi. Nani?
I was not expecting this. The worst part of this is the casting. A lot of the acting here is pretty good, but the only way you can even associate these characters that they're playing is with their names. Shinji? Are you sure? He's got the shirt, at least. Kazuma? Shimano? If you say so. That is because they're recycling actors from the Nihon Touitsu project. Majima, on the other hand, this guy's pretty great. The Kiryu treadmill scenes are killing me. You can't deny the attention to detail here, I mean, how could you not when it's mostly sourced from the game? It's almost like a JAV parody. There's no Lao, unfortunately, removing this iconic moment. We do get Kiryu straight up using the blicky though. Oh hell nah. Hell nah. So far we haven't stirred or changed from the main narrative, barring some omissions, up until the end of the second episode, which is the opening of the second game with Daigo. I was told that this was going to cover Yakuza 2 as well, but they really don't outside of that Daigo appearance, which is cool, I guess. The final episode does end on the climatic battle in the Millennium Tower, wrapping up the story of the first game. Looking at this surface value, one would definitely feel some concern, I think. I know I frankly just kept forgetting that this was a thing that was going to happen. A lot of fans are saying that this is amazing, even as far as to say that this is the greatest live-action video game adaptation ever. That's just flat out not true. That's just wrong. I'm sure most of that is just from glazers of the franchise, but this is a very fun product. This exists for Yakuza fans 100 and 1000%. I can't really see anyone new to the franchise getting nearly as much entertainment out of this. I think, in fact, that they would be probably royally confused. This might actually be a good counterpoint as well that one-to-one adaptations aren't a good thing either. The Amazon series steered far too much away from literally everything that matters with Yakuza and made a crap series. This is a little too close. You've got to make changes when translating to different media. A lot of people are willing to ignore the lesser aspects of this because it's so faithful and filled with so much soul. It accurately recreates the famous moments, not ashamed of the low budget. Again, this is a franchise famous for this. Just because they don't have the big bucks doesn't mean that they don't have the passion, the soul to do it respectfully, which will give this the big thumbs up from fans, myself included, as I had such a fun time with this. Far more than other franchises I love with recent adaptations and some upcoming that are already proving to fail to understand their source material. It's a complicated world adapting games into movies. This is proof enough that one-to-one is not the way to go either, but fans are definitely far more keen on defending this. Anywho, it's 3 episodes, each an hour long. I recommend checking it out if you're a Yakuza fan. It's pretty damn cool. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this series. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe as it really helps the channel out a lot. Be sure to hit that little bell to get notifications on new videos when they come out. And be sure to check out my socials to see whatever I'm ranting on. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.